What is up, Kick and Bass gang? Today's going to be part one of remixing the entire Skrillex album. That goes a little something like this. So this is the techno one.
Hear this song.
Here's the Maybach.
How about the Maybach?
Here's the intro. Second track. Then there's this one. Then we got this one, which I guess is called Jungle Step. Then there's this one. All right, so we'll start with techno just to keep it on track with kick and bass a little bit, and then we'll branch out to the bass. So this is what we have for the techno flip right here. All right, let's check out this kick because it's fucking enormous. And by no means is any of this stuff a final mix. So I'm just showing you guys how to like write quickly and like my process for just getting a bunch of ideas out as fast as possible. So for the kick, we got fundamental kick, which is in the root note of the song. And then I just ducked out some of the parts that weren't needed. And then under that, we got another attack layer just to make it as big as possible. I would definitely do more EQ on if this was like a final, but yeah, we're just rocking and rolling. And then on the downbeat or every 2 bars, I have another kick layer just to be like a stomp layer that's like an emphasis. And then we have the bass. So for the bass, what I did was I just put a bunch of reverb on the kick with the sub in it, and then bounced it out. As you can see, I think I bounced it again. But anyways, the process for doing that is you just put a bunch of reverb on a kick. Well, let's see if we could just redo it really quick, just to show you guys the process. So I'd throw this on here. Then we'll just do reverb. 100% on this. Cut out the highs, bring it in your face with the size, throw up the decay. Turn it down a little bit, then I'll just bounce this in place. And then from here, what I did was just line it up. Then I just did a manual sidechain on it. And then from here, I just do like a bunch of EQ and overdrive. And then just copy the EQ again. And just duck out the highs over and over. And then you're kind of just listening to it with the kick until it matches. So it's still too much highs in it. I would just duck out this. Yeah, it's just a bunch of EQ and distortion until it fits right. And that way the sub of the bass is the same as the kick, so it just fits together better. You could also just use a sample if you wanted to. So, and then after that, we have these downbeat stabs. And all this sort of stuff is just, so what I do is I'll just make a preset and then I just throw, so you see how I have it just named out the type of sound, and then I have the root note right here. And what I'll do is in Serum 2 now you could put MIDI. So what I do is I just throw an arpeggiator on one note inside of Serum, and then I just twist everything in the preset just over and over. So, and put a lot of note on random stuff. So it just gives me a bunch of random results. So if we listen to this by itself, let's see. Yeah, and I'll just do this for fucking like 5 minutes. And then from there, all I'm doing is is there any processing on this? I'm just cutting out the sub right here. And I know it's in the root note. And I'm just doing shift option drag until I find something that I like. And this just makes your songwriting process way easier, I've found, because you're not fucking around in Serum with all the knobs all the time and just getting lost in the sauce. So you could just, one, have more control over the envelopes this way, and then also you're getting more interesting results because it's just like something that you couldn't really do if you were doing it inside of just a Serum patch. So then after that, we have this white noise, and then I have a Haas effect on it just to split it in the stereo field. And then we got this big ass drone. So again, this is just like, I just did a bunch of distortion on a bunch of different sine waves and just had them like randomly coming up and down. And then I just sit there and just fucking twist knobs for like 10 minutes. And that way it's just a lot more interesting, and you're not trying to like dial in a preset perfectly every time you're in a project, and it just makes you a lot quicker. And then in terms of the automation, I have, let's see, we have, so as the sound goes on, I'm automating up this peak, and that's what's giving us all the like overtones and stuff. And then I have an overdrive at 77%. Let's increase this size. And then an OTT just for girth, pull down the top a little bit. Then I have a reverb send that's just fucking enormous. And then an LFO after. And then as the drop goes on, so we have it go after 8 bars. I know, 8's right here. So all I did on the second half of the drop is I just shift option dragged this part. And then I believe, oh shit, what's going on? And then I just changed up some of the filter movement. And that's like, you could just get a bunch of crazy results without having to work too hard. And let's see, we have the upbeat sound, which is again just... Yeah, this way you're just like kind of just listening for what feels right instead of having to automate a bunch of weird shit. And that's pretty much it for that idea. It's just about focusing on the main concept and just working quickly. All right, now let's get into some trap. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for the kick here, we just got sample from Splice. I think it's VR, yeah. And then I just have an analog clip blasted to shit on soft clip mode. So in the sounds, let's check it out. The main thing on this one is going to be this snare part. So okay, so for the tonal snares, so what I did was, I believe this is, okay, this is C. So I think this one's an F. Yeah, the root note is F, so C would be the 5th. And then from here, I just blasted up the tone with a bit warmer on it. And then we have this little donk, which is a part of just a bunch of another like just mud pie of Serum. And this is in the root note as well, or this is the F actually, and I just blew it up to shit. And then we got white noise on top of it with a little bit of Haas effect, and then there's the flam that comes after. So for the second snare, we have this little flam note, and this is just, so it was originally up 1, and then I put it up 2 more octaves, and then I put it back however much time that is. I think I just did command drag to do it off grid. Let's put that back. And then I bounced out this snare, which is right here. And then I put it down an octave. And that's what's giving us this like big flam right here. Yeah, super easy. And then we have the pre-roll. So I put the snare in a sampler. Bear with me. And then I did a free rate arpeggiator that goes from, there's no like math on this. I just sort of listen for what sounds right. So the rate goes from 10 or 20 to 10. And then I transposed it down 1 to 17 to negative 24. So it was up a fifth, down 2 octaves. And then we did the mixer goes from, or the panning goes from right to left. And then on top of that, we got, so this is again just another session of me fucking around with random zips and zaps. So it's just like, and all we're doing is just putting it in the root note and then just dragging it till it sounds right. And then we have another one under it. And then we got the main chug right here. Just breaking all the rules with the EQ and stuff. If you're ever doing crazy bass music shit, it's just do what sounds good. Don't even try to do any rules at all. So this is again just crazy random whoops, and I just found one that sounded good. And yeah, just doing this sort of shit just makes everything so much easier because you're not thinking while you're writing, you're just listening for what sounds good. And then layered underneath that is just an 808. And then we have this switch up. And for this, I just used a bit from the original. And then I think this sound, so this is actually the same sound from the techno drop, but just in a different position. And then for this one, I just added erosion on it to fill up the high end. And then we have this little bit that is, again, just part of this, but a different spot. And then we just have some hats underneath it. And as the drop goes on, it just switches up a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm just like, I keep the first part of this, and then I just change the second part with shift option drag right here. Oh, and then we have this little flare, which is sick. Yeah, so literally all of these are just from one sound design session, and then this one just has like a reverb throw on it. Okay, let's do dubstep. Okay. So this is the first one. Okay, so for drums we got let's see. We got this and that and this. Okay, so the snare, this one is just a sample. And then we got layered the noise on it. And then this is a bass sound, I think. Yeah, that's a bass sound. And then I just put it in the root note and then blasted the fundamental, which is E. And then we just put Haas effect on it and reverb. for synths, let's check these out. Okay, so this one, the downbeat is actually Serum. Let's check out this. So we got one of the new Serum 2 wavetables. It's the Dying Saw. Then we have LFO 1, which is controlling all the movement. So we just do wavetable position here. And then we have a high notch over here, doing the cutoff and the frequency with the LFO. And then in the effects, we got OTT, diffuser, distortion, another high pass, dimension for width, and then another OTT. Then under this, we have a rhythm, or it's like an energy booster. So this is inside Serum 2 as well. And it's just a detuned saw wave. So we have LFO 1 doing the coarse pitch. And this is in the root note as well. And what's giving us like the phasery sound is the detune on the saw right here. And then this LFO is doing the coarse pitch. So this is a super fast vibrato at 128th note. And then nothing in the effects. So this is just giving us like some more fire on the back end. And then we have a bass layered on the snare. So I think, yeah, this is just another iteration of the downbeat. So all I did was change the LFO. And then the leads. So again, this is just another just big ass resample that I just fucking around till it sounds right. And the main concept is we just have like a half bar phrase that repeats. Yeah, so it's this, repeats 4 times, and then yeah, that phrase happens the first 8, and then it goes to this. So we keep the main part of the phrase the same, and then this part switches. Okay, and then we got this guy. Okay, so same concept with the drums and stuff. It's just all picking the right samples. And then for the sub, we have this 16th note rolling sub. So this is just sine wave and Serum. And then we have envelope 2. It's going to the coarse pitch. That's what's giving us the punch at the beginning. And then we just have distortion on it. And then LFO tool. And then for the synths, so same concept here, just a resample, and then what I did was, okay, a lot. So we got an EQ8. This actually, I cut that out later, so it's not that important. But so we have the reverb throw, which goes up over the quarter notes at different increments. And this just gives us more motion. And then we have everything thick OTT, LFO tool, and then we have the auto pan, which is giving us the 16th note rhythm. And then again, it's just like half bar phrase, repeats, and then switches up at half. Then we're cooking. Let's see, what else we got? Okay, let's check out the Maybach.
What's your name? How about the Maybach? How about the
second part. Wait, hold up. Okay, so let's check out these sounds. Ugh. All right, so again, just same thing. Just crazy resample, blowing the shit out of the sub. And then we're just boosting this little formant area right here. And then this part's just a little different. And then we have the serum patch, which is layered on top just for some more high end. And this is just one of the serum 2 wavetables with LFO 1 on the wavetable position and then a low pass filter. And we got this fucking huge snare. Ugh. Yeah, so again, just like find the root and then I just blew it up. Then I actually Haas effect this entire snare. Then we have a couple bits from the original right here. Oh, and then this part's fire. Ew. Yeah, so again, that's just fucking shift option drag until it sounds good. And then we have, what is this? Another big chungus from a different resample. Nice. Okay, let's check out this big boy thing, is what I called it. Okay, so this first part just blip from the original. So we got another tonal snare right here. Again, just boosted the shit out of... This is actually a different harmonic. Yeah, I just noticed this part was just... It had a peak right here, so I just, fuck it, let's blow it up. And then I have a different sort of tonal delay. So it just has more time on it, and then it's only the part fucking cut, so it's just this part that's getting the tonal delay, or the Haas effect. And then I have this little bark on it. And then we have this huge... So this is just another mud pie, and then it just has the... It hits till the second kick. And then I flip on this LFO tool right here. Then we have just a bunch of other random chugs right here. And there's a couple other more super rough ideas, but I think you guys get the concept of the process here. It's just doing sound design in a different session and then just absolutely just fucking around and picking good samples. That's it. All right, gang, that's going to do it for Skrillex Day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more sauce, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.